It's Roger from MiWayJourneys, and we're here to plan another adventure. This time, we're planning for an 8-day adventure on what I will call my loop, my grand loop. There is a loop that you can get and download from global Google Earth, and so it will take you across. So basically, I did not go to Zion on this trip, but here's the planning for an 8-day journey with what I'm going to call my grand loop planning. As usual, my disclaimer is that any of the services that I use or may even recommend, I am not paid as in any way, shape, or form for those services that I do recommend and use throughout the trip that I'm either booking or on the adventure that we're on. So, as I've done with many other planning adventures, just kind of walking you through a simple 5-step process for me. Part of the adventure is planning the trip, then doing the trip, and then reliving it after I've returned home. So, from here, where am I going? Well, I'm going to do the Grand Loop out in Western United States using the state parks and national parks as my guide. You have to understand for you how much, so my loop was governed by what I felt I could fit in 8 days. And for you, that may be fewer days or more days. What do you want to do when you see there? As I've recommended, and I'll talk about one of the tools later, but keep track of what it is that you want to see, and that may, from when we look at the sources that I use to look at beforehand, that may help you. Are you looking for tour organizers or maybe even some side trip types of tours as well to kind of break up the trip? Then we get to booking transport and accommodations, depending on how you're going to travel and what you want to do for this. For this adventure, I trade between some hotels, so Booking.com, and as well as some using Airbnb resources as well. So, and then you start the adventure, number 5. That countdown to when you're actually going to do the trip. Excuse me. I'm gonna go back. So, as I mentioned, at sources, looking at TripAdvisor and YouTube and Lonely Planet, eyewitness books, the National Park Services websites as well, and some of the recommendations that are available for you there. Looking at Instagram posts or YouTube, doing some searches based on the locations you want to visit are all ways to either see pictures or see input and provide ideas for your next journey. And this one again here is the My Grand Loop adventure. So as I've done in the past, I do use Wonderlog, and so again, when we're doing that research and I see something or hear or read something about what I want to go and see, make a note of that, put it in, kind of put the pin in it, and put it on the map. And then once I see the map, I can see the proximity to where these things are and understand, the hours of operation, days that they're open or closed, and that helps me plan the trip as I may like an accordion, go fast, go slow. For one of those, but Wonderlog, great tool. I use this all the time in my planning. Another helpful piece for this was going to be a driving experience, is the Gapper guides. They do have several national parks, as you can see here on the bottom of the screen, that they do offer. I did use the Bryce Canyon one for this trip, and then we weren't going to Zion. I'd been to Zion before, but we just weren't going to have the time to include that. And so we cut our way directly right from Bryce right over to the next park we were going to go to. But the Gapper Guide is great for telling you what's around the corner, what's coming up as far as making the next turn. Very helpful to give you that information you might not otherwise have gotten if you weren't using a tour guide in this. And this was such a long trip, I wouldn't have used a tour service for this. So didn't mind driving, and we had several drivers during this ride as well. So my decisions were to go in the spring months. Temperature wise, this was a good temperature all the way around. 8 days in itself. This was for a small group. There was 4 of us that went on this trip. We rented an SUV with unlimited miles. We had a park pass, so that covered everybody in the car. We did book some side adventures, and I'm going to talk about those in just a moment. And then trade-offs of spending, you might want to add an extra night to stay in Salt Lake City. Great city, lots to see and do. So it may be, that may be an opportunity to add in some time. But we just stayed here overnight and got ready for the trip, and I'll speak to that in just a moment. Some cautions about if you put something like going to Vermilion Cliffs and you want to get in to see Pyrea Canyon and the wave, know that this is a lottery-based system, so they only let so many people in per day. So you do have to apply for in the lottery to get tickets to actually which will allow you to go up into to where the wave is at. So be aware of that. So it's not something you just drive to and go, because you may not want to get all the way out there and then find out that you can't even go there. Always an awareness, about fuel levels. A number of these parks are pretty good distances apart. Uh, Exceptional views almost the entire ride. So keeping a watch on fuel levels. And then, based on when you do decide to go, watching for travel delays. In the winter months, there may be more impactful of, snow delays and storm delays in different parts of the country, school vacations, things like that. Just things to watch for. I talked about side adventures and booking those in advance. Antelope Canyon is one of those ones that I just really felt like booking in advance was something I needed to do, and it was well worth the planning. As once I got out there, it was very busy, and they were just people waiting to get in. They've got a really well-run system there for queuing people up and then getting them into the canyons themselves. So they were guided. Their guides help you with taking images. This picture to the left here is a picture that I took. They kind of helped me set it up, and then but really nice imagery and just seeing the waves and the way the light and the dust and the sand comes through is really something to see. The guided, we did do a wilderness river ride. So we went from Glen Canyon to Lee's Ferry. So we did book this, and we did this great. This was an awesome boat ride. We had a Native American guide. We stopped midway in the ride and played a traditional Indian flute, and the echoes off the canyon walls and everything were really was great to hear. We did ride through the Horseshoe Bend, and then got off in Lee's Ferry, where we then got on a bus, and then they brought us back to our starting point. So great side trip planning for there. Um, let's go forward. So looking at the map, these things don't look that far apart, but they are, and hence why it was an 8-day adventure. You can see here that we came into Salt Lake was the plan overnight, get ready for the next day. So we went to the store, we got snacks and water and things like that. So on the next morning, we just went out to our car and we took off for the ride and headed to Goblin State Park. Capitol Reef on day one was our plan. Then cross over to Bryce, stay overnight in Bryce, and then spend the next day in Bryce. Then from Bryce, we traveled to Page, Arizona, where we did several days there, was the plan. And so here we were set to do Antelope Canyon, Horseshoe Bend, Glen Canyon Dam. It's an interesting, adventure. And as it goes, you can take all the dam pictures you want. And then we went down and we did the Glen Canyon River Raft ride, and that was exceptional. Overnighted, and then we headed out. Would be to Hovenweep, and then to Four Corners. This is a long distance as we look at the distance here from the Carl Hayden Visitor Center to, we were headed that day from Mesa Verde, which is just right above my head here. That was a long distance, long ride. So stopping in Hovenweep was really nice. So going to Four Corners, Hovenweep, and then Mesa Verde, we fit those all in and got to Mesa Verde, and then we spent another day at Mesa Verde, and from there we overnighted there. We stayed in the park for the 2 nights, and then we went to Arches the following day. We didn't know if we were going to have enough, how much we wanted to see, or how long it was going to take us, but we did spend, about half a day or more in Arches National Park, which I think I could have spent more, but given the how long we had already been on the road and hiking in places, that the half a day was good for this trip, and I'll go back there again and do some more trekking around to the different arches. And then we headed back to Salt Lake City, and we came home from Salt Lake City, and that was all around the park in itself. It made a nice triangle from where we started. Started at Goblin and worked our way counterclockwise around and ended up in Arches and then back to Salt Lake City. In here you can see just some emblems and again that map with the parks on here. So it kind of gives you about who kind of oversees these parks, and they're all doing a phenomenal job between Goblin State Park, the Navajo Nation, and the National Park System. Just a great adventure all the way around. As I've talked about, I use a lot of different tools, and I do recommend using the Track My Tour. This is kind of nice that it creates two things. One is it creates a day-by-day register. You can take some images and put some comments there. You can share the link with a Track My Tour, depending, you can set it up public or private. I tend to set mine up as private, and then I send the link, the private link, out to people, and then they can follow my travel as I move along. It has an internal chat feature to it, so people can comment and ask questions. And then in the end of your travel, it creates a file, and it creates you can create a memory album that you can have printed, and it gives you all those comments and the maps and everything of where you went. So a nice little tool. Track My Tour is free for a couple of trips if you want. I have a paid subscription to this, and I really enjoy the Track My Tour app. Post-travel notes, on the plus side, the travel was extremely easy. The wilderness raft ride was just excellent. Can't speak highly enough about the staff and the ride in itself. Plan your time out of the parks. Local food, wineries, and even some local hiking. Clearly some advantages of getting those things that are just off the beaten path. Great food, great people to be met in there. Noteworthy, distances between the parks. Just be prepared that there is some, but the nice part is that there is so much to see, and even pull-offs along the way, to take in some either monuments or just some unique photographic opportunities along the way. Buy travel snacks. Big bonus, having things right there in the car, so you're not looking for things and being totally hungry, starving by the time you get from one point to another. Pack picnic lunches on park days. Sometimes the food in the parks can be expensive, and it may be a little more prepared food. So having a lunch so you can do a hike and have a lunch while you're there is just a great option for while you're in a park in itself. So if you've liked the video, please like and subscribe to MiWayJourneys. I appreciate your patronage. Subscribing is free and there's no attachment, so then you get to see when my next videos drop from week to week.